Jude, winning with this team must feel good. Your fourth title in, what, just over a year. How does it feel?
Really good, really nice. You know, to start the season like this with so many kind of big competitions and big games coming up, it's the perfect way to start. You know, it gets everyone's confidence higher when the team's gelling together like that. Yeah, it just gives a good flavour for everyone going into the season.
Talking about the team, of course, big signing this summer, Kylian Mbappe, but you guys have already won without him. What does a player like him joining do to the dressing room?
I think it shows the intent and the mentality of the team when straight after you win the biggest prize there is, you want to go and add a player like him, you know. It's the definition of Real Madrid, that kind of signing. So, yeah, he played today, it was unbelievable, it was amazing to play with, he's a joy. He's a great teammate so far, and yeah, we just want to enjoy getting to understand each other's rhythms and hopefully assisting and scoring more goals.
Yeah, talk to me about that assist, because what a way to start his career as well for Real Madrid.
Yeah, it's brilliant playing with him and Vinny, but it's difficult sometimes, man. You've only got 2 seconds to get him the ball because they're both gone like that. So I saw him drop the feint and I just thought I'd leave it in an area, and you know, he finishes like he always does, and yeah, it's a joy to see it up close.
And just finally, people have been talking about a possible 7 titles for Real Madrid this season. One's in the bag. Is there confidence in this team that you're in it for everything?
Yeah, I think you've got to be. You know, when you play for a club like Madrid, you have to say that you want to win every game. You know, we know it's not going to be easy. We're going to have to work hard for it. We're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices as a team. But you know, we're in them to win them. I think that's the mentality of the club.
And just finally, you've got grown men in here screaming your name. Has it sunk in the levels that you're at?
Not really. No, I still find it all a bit surreal. You know, it scares me, to be honest. But you know, the support here from the Madrid fans, unbelievable. You know, I could never imagine how much they'd take me in and they'd accept me. I feel like I'm one of them. I feel like I've been playing here for years. So it's a credit to them, and I feel like they give me the confidence to go and perform the way I do.
Thank you. Congratulations.
You said it shows the intent of the team, the intent that Real Madrid have. Bringing in Kylian Mbappe also shows the financial ability, right? The clout that you have in terms of money. You kind of listen to him, you watch him on the pitch particularly, and you forget almost that he's only been at Real Madrid one season. He feels like such a part of the fabric of Real Madrid already. That happened so quickly, Alessandro.
Yeah, he's the guy. I told you. For me, in the 20 minutes in the second half, what really Real Madrid changed the dynamics of the game and the energy of the game, he was the leader of the midfielders in order to do that. And he was sending constantly messages with his, the way that he plays the ball, the way that he fights to recover the ball. And it's incredible. And it's not only 1 year only in Real Madrid, it's the personality that joined the most, you know, in this moment, club in the world that has that kind of visibility and that kind of pressure and responsibility in order to make something happen, finish winning the Champions League and all this stuff with that personality and that character. Unbelievable.
You looking at the future captain of Real Madrid?
I think so. Just listening to him there, and I think we said this all last year. He seems way above his 21-year-old age that he is, right? He seems so much more mature. And I said last year that I don't see a world we're going to live in where Jude Bellingham at some point doesn't win the Ballon d'Or. Right, at some point. It might not be his time now, but you put year after year after year. The kid's 21 years old and doing this, as you say, at the biggest club in the world with the most pressure. And they were asking for a comp in our ear a little bit earlier. And I said, to me, he reminds me of Zinedine Zidane. From a body standpoint, the way that he plays, the way he sees the field, how he can ride tackles. He loves that little outside of the foot pass and then movement into space, can dribble around players. He's got all, it's so hard to compare players, right? Because everyone has a little different quality, and that might be an unfair one because of what Zidane has done and what he's meant to Real Madrid over the years. But the guy's got every tool in his bag to be the greatest player in the world at one point in his career.
Well, you played with Zidane. What do you think?
5 years. I mean, Tony said one important thing. We are talking about the player that wants everything, done his career, and compared with the one that's 21 years old. I mean, it's unfair competition for me now. It's not at the level of Zizou, of course. Can we reach that level? Yes, in a different way, because he has different qualities. Jude Bellingham can be a modern number 10, can be a number 8, a number 4, can be a number 9, in some occasion.
What's four in Italian?
Four, I mean, in front of the defense.
Ah, okay.
And,
That's four?
you know, yeah.
4 and 5, right?
Four.
Yeah, together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Four in Latin America's
Central defenders.
right back in Argentina. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I mean, he can cover up, let's say, all the role in the midfielders, including, you know, a false nine or, you know, as a striker in some occasion, because of his quality, physical quality, and the way that he sees the game and how he can fit inside the game. And this is one of his quality, especially in this team with the creativity that he has in front and the freedom that all the three players in front has, and Ancelotti gives them to them. So they can go anywhere and maybe find three, Rodrigo, Mbappe, and Vinicius on the left side, because they're juggling, and find the right space for him to go in, like it happened in the first half when he received the yellow card. That kind of moment it's great. Take that moment and to find that space.
If we're talking about Kylian Mbappe for a minute, debut performance for Real Madrid tonight in an official game in that Real Madrid shirt, scorer of the second goal, and we also heard from him after the game, so let's listen in.
It's a magical night. Always dreaming about this type of nights, and now it's a reality. Play for this club, the best club in the world, is something crazy. I'm really happy to make my debut today. Of course, we won a trophy. It's really important to win a trophy here because everybody won here. So it's a big pleasure for me also to score a goal as a striker. To be there and to score for my team is always a pleasure, and I hope to stay like this and to improve to help the team more.
How easy is to play with Vinicius and Rodrigo? Because there were many speculations that how will you fit together, but tonight it seemed like you get along really well.
Yeah, it's easy to play with them because they are great players, and all the players in the team are great. That's why this is Real Madrid, and that's why this is the best club in the world, because we have the best player here, and it's a pleasure to play with Rodrigo, with Vinicius, also with Bellingham, and with all the guys there.
Tell me, what's the atmosphere like in this squad? How they have accepted you in those first few days in the club?
No, I arrived, like I said before, like I said the day of my presentation, I arrived with humility, with my personality, natural things, and I have to say thank you to all the guys in the club, the coach, the staff, the players, everybody, because they helped me. My adaptation is so easy because they give me everything, they help me for everything in life, for my house, for everything. So I just have to think about football, and that's what I'm best for, to play football.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But what kind of version of Kylian Mbappe are we expecting? It feels like he stayed at PSG maybe a little longer than he would have chosen to, or he would have ideally liked to. We always knew that Real Madrid was his dream club and the club that he wanted to play for. Do you think you'll see a freer... When you're happier somewhere, you tend to perform better, right? Do you think we'll see a freer version of Kylian Mbappe in this season?
Well, that's a scary thought, right? Seeing a freer Kylian Mbappe, but I respect him for staying at PSG as long as he did, because he made a commitment, right? He stayed at the club, but we kind of knew this was going to happen, and I would think there's some sense of butterflies in the stomach when you're still Real Madrid, right? You never played there before, and it's your debut, and you want to, you know the expectations on yourself. So I would think there was today a little bit of that nervousness, right, that you get before games. Maybe a little different for him, and good for him to get a goal, because now we don't have to wait for the goal. It doesn't come 4 or 5 games into his career at Real Madrid, but if they can find a way to get the best version of Kylian Mbappe, boy, Carlo Ancelotti's got some team on his hands here, and we knew it coming into this anyway.
Alessandro, I'm curious. I'm sorry. I'm curious to know what you think, because you've played at the creme de la creme, and a guy like this, the way that he speaks English, just like that, he speaks Spanish with so much normalcy. He's so intelligent, and he takes this as if it was just like another day at the office, maybe some butterflies, but I guarantee you he'll get over it quickly. Is it important for him to take it normal, or do you think he needs to envision, all right, I need to be at my best every single moment?
I believe that he understands very well that this is part of his journey, personal journey, and the fact that he show up speaking English in that way, that age, and French and Spanish and other things. I mean, and all the experience that he had the trophy that he had. I mean, we're talking as PSG like it was a bad place. I mean, he was earning tons of money, and he played with Messi and Neymar in the same team. So they try, and they got in the final on the Champions League. They lost, so they try in many ways in Paris Saint-Germain to find a way to win the trophy with him. And then now it's a new chapter, but it's part of his journey. His journey is also winning the Euros that he's missing, but he won the World Cup. So I remember that at one point we compare him to Pelé, that he can be able to win 3 World Cups with France, because France is an incredible team, and he's an incredible player, winning the World Cup when he was 20 years old. I don't remember how many years. So that kind of possibility is countless for him. He has many possibilities, and now he's playing with the team of his dream, and you can feel it. But I think in his mind he has already a different path, and the pressure that these players has now with all the social media and the attention that is all over the world give you a lot of more opportunity, but also more pressure. And I think it's great to deal with that, and how he did it. He did.
If he says this was a magical night, how will it feel when he plays his first game at the Bernabeu?
Wow, it would be amazing.
Yeah?
Bernabeu it's incredible. I mean, it's 90,000 people.
With a smile on his face, right?
Now with the refinished, it's even more.
Okay.
It's a beauty. I mean, play there, it's one dream for every player.